Rain hit the streets of Seoul in sharp, silver lines. The city glowed beneath the storm, neon lights melting into puddles like spilled colors. Min Jae moved through the chaos, his black coat slick with rain, his eyes cold and fixed ahead. Two men followed a few steps behind, their faces unreadable. He didn't look back. He didn't have to. They knew their place. Inside a narrow alley, the door creaked as he entered a quiet restaurant. The owner bowed deeply, trembling a little. Min Jae's voice was calm, too calm. Tell them the shipment arrives tomorrow. If anyone interferes, they disappear. He dropped a gold coin on the table, a signal, not a payment. Then he turned and left, walking back into the storm like a shadow that didn't belong to the world. Across the city, a phone buzzed on a small wooden desk. A hand reached out, warm brown skin against the glow of the screen. Amara squinted at the text before sending another. She was halfway through a conversation with her best friend in Lagos, complaining about her new internship at a Korean tech firm. Girl, my boss is handsome, but scary. If he wasn't so cold, maybe I'd ask him out. Without realizing, she'd hit send, not to her friend, but to an unknown number she'd saved days ago while trying to order food. The moment the message whooshed away, she froze. No, wait. Her thumb hovered uselessly over the screen. Oh my God, who did I just text? Her heart thudded. She checked the contact, just digits, no name. Maybe it wouldn't deliver. Maybe the person would ignore it. Minutes passed. Then the phone buzzed again. You think I'm handsome? Amara's jaw dropped. What? Who is this? She muttered. Her roommate, Tasha, peeked out from the kitchen. Who's handsome? Don't tell me you're flirting already. It's a mistake, Amara whispered. Oh, God. I think I texted the wrong number. You didn't answer my question. The reply came again, sharp and teasing. Something about it made her shiver. The phrasing was simple, but the energy behind it wasn't. It carried confidence, no emojis, no hesitation. She typed back quickly. Sorry, wrong number. Please ignore. A few seconds later, another buzz. Too late for that. Her stomach twisted. Too late? Too late for what? She whispered. The typing dots appeared again, then vanished. She set the phone down, trying to focus on her notes for class, but the device buzzed again. You have an interesting way of saying sorry. Most people beg. Who talks like this? She muttered, half annoyed, half intrigued. Tasha came over, curious. Let me see. Amara hid the screen. No, you'll laugh. Tasha smirked. So it's a man. Amara's cheeks warmed. It's just, he replied, weird, like a movie villain or something. Across Seoul, Min Jae leaned back in the back seat of his black car, the phone resting in his palm. His right-hand man looked at him through the mirror. Who is it? A mistake, Min Jae said softly, but there was something like amusement in his tone. The number was foreign, the language slightly off. She wasn't local. He stared at her name, Amara, a name that rolled strangely, beautifully. He typed again. Be careful who you text by mistake. Some people don't like being disturbed. She read it, frowned, then sent one last message. You're dramatic. Goodbye. He smiled for the first time in days. That night, Amara couldn't sleep. She tossed in bed, replaying the conversation. There was something magnetic about the man. His words carried weight, like each letter knew exactly what it wanted. But it was silly. Just a stranger. She'd block him tomorrow. Outside her apartment, thunder rolled. By morning, she'd forgotten about it. She threw on a cream jacket, grabbed her umbrella, and rushed down the narrow steps toward the subway. Rain had turned to drizzle, soft and misty. She hummed under her breath, her phone buzzing with notifications. She didn't check it until she was already at her desk at the company. The name, unknown number, glowed again. Good morning, Amara. Her heart skipped. She hadn't told him her name. Her hands trembled slightly as she typed. How do you know my name? You sent it once when you ordered food. You use this number for everything. You should be more careful. Her breath caught. She scrolled up through her messages. Oh no, it was the same number from the restaurant delivery last week. Okay, you're creeping me out now. Who are you? Someone who doesn't like being ignored. Her pulse quickened. This is insane, she whispered. She blocked the number immediately. Hours later, as she left work, the street outside felt quieter than usual. A soft breeze moved through the air, but her body stayed tense. She laughed at herself. Paranoia from too many Netflix thrillers, that's all. Still, as she walked toward her apartment, she felt it, that prickling sensation like eyes on her back. Inside her building, she turned the key quickly, locking the door behind her. Her phone buzzed again. A new message. You blocked me. Her chest tightened. How? Don't worry. I just wanted to return your text in person. There was a knock at the door. Amara froze. Her breath came shallow. Another knock, slower, deeper. Tasha! She whispered, inching toward the door. No answer. Then a man's voice, low, calm, controlled, came from outside. Amara, you texted me last night. Her knees went weak. No way. Door handle rattles softly. She whispered, please God, not tonight. But curiosity, that reckless part of her that always needed to see for herself, won. She opened the door a few inches. He was there, tall, perfectly still, black suit gleaming under the hallway light. His eyes were unreadable, his expression soft but dangerous. I told you I'd return the text, he said quietly. Amara's voice trembled. Who are you? He smiled faintly. Min Jae. The name struck her like lightning. The name she'd just searched earlier that morning. Attached to a rumor, a dangerous man, a Mafia heir. She stepped back instinctively, fear and fascination twisting together. Min Jae tilted his head, studying her. You invited me into your messages. I came to meet the woman who talks like fire. Amara couldn't breathe. He stepped forward. Can I come in? Before she could answer, the camera of the story would fade slightly, suspense thick. If you're still here and your heart is racing too, don't forget to like this video before we continue. You'll want to see what happens next. Amara's breath hitched as he stepped inside, closing the door behind him with quiet precision. The scent of rain followed him in, mixed with something darker, cologne and steel. Her heartbeat filled the silence. He glanced around, eyes scanning her small living room like he was memorizing every detail. You live alone? He asked softly. She shook her head, quickly. My roommate's home soon. He smiled slightly, the kind of smile that didn't reach his eyes. Good. Amara crossed her arms, trying to sound braver than she felt. What do you want from me? You came all the way here for a text. He moved closer, stopping just a breath away. It wasn't just a text. His voice was low, deliberate. People rarely talk to me without fear. You did. I didn't even know who you were, she snapped, her fear mixing with irritation. You scared me, following me like this. Min Jae's gaze softened for a second. That wasn't my intention. Then what is your intention? He didn't answer immediately. He walked past her, stopping by the window, looking out over the city. You sent a message to the wrong person, he said, but maybe it wasn't a mistake. What does that even mean? She whispered. He turned to face her fully. I don't believe in accidents. Every action draws us toward something. Amara blinked. You talk like a movie character, you know that? He chuckled, the sound deep and brief. I've been told. Her fear slowly shifted to curiosity. He didn't seem like the monster the internet described, not yet. There was danger, yes, but also sadness, like someone who carried too many ghosts. She exhaled, shaking her head. You shouldn't be here. People will see you. Let them, he said simply. I wanted to see you once. Now I have. He walked toward the door, but before he left he paused. You should stop walking home alone at night, Amara. The city is not kind to those who stand out. She frowned. How do you know where I live? He met her gaze, and for the first time, his expression held something real regret. Because I made sure you got home safe last night. Her stomach dropped. You followed me. I protected you. That's not protection, she snapped, fear rising again. That's stalking. He sighed, almost frustrated with himself. You're right. I crossed a line. His tone softened. It won't happen again. He turned and left before she could say more. The door clicked shut, leaving her standing in the heavy silence, trembling. For hours, she couldn't think straight. She replayed every word, every look. His voice still echoed in her mind. Calm, dangerous, gentle. Who was he really? The next day, she told herself she'd move on. She went to work, forced a smile, ignored the looks from her colleagues. But when she stepped outside that evening, a sleek black car sat at the corner of the street. A driver leaned against it, pretending to smoke. Her pulse spiked. She hurried away, weaving through the crowd. When she glanced back, the car was gone. Back in her apartment, she poured herself tea, trying to calm down. She convinced herself it was paranoia again. But just as she sat, her phone buzzed. You shouldn't run when someone's trying to protect you. Her cup clattered against the table. She stared at the message, fingers shaking. Leave me alone, Min Jae. I can't. Her anger flared. She called him. He picked up after one ring. What do you want from me? She shouted. I told you, he said calmly. I want to understand why you don't fear me. Because I don't know you. You're just some guy who kills people, he interrupted quietly. Is that what the internet told you? She froze. His voice carried no guilt, no denial. Just truth. He continued. Do you believe everything you read? Her throat went dry. I don't know what to believe. He didn't speak for a moment. Then, good. Don't believe me either. Just watch. Before she could respond, the line went dead. The next morning, the news was filled with a story. A major drug ring in Seoul dismantled overnight. The headline, Unknown Vigilante Disrupts Tiger Clan Operations. Amara stared at her screen, whispering, no way. Her phone buzzed again. I told you not all monsters bite. Her mind spun. Was he protecting her? Or was she a pawn in something she couldn't see? Tasha noticed her expression. You look like you saw a ghost. Amara laughed nervously. Something like that. Tasha sat beside her. You've been acting weird since that guy texted you. Spill it. Amara hesitated, then said he showed up. At our door. Tasha blinked. What? Yeah, and Amara lowered her voice. He's dangerous, Tasha. Like, really dangerous. Then block him. Report him. Change your number. Amara sighed. I tried, but he keeps finding a way. Tasha frowned. That's creepy. You should stay somewhere else tonight. Amara nodded, but deep down, something in her didn't want to run. Part of her wanted answers, to know what kind of man he really was beneath all that darkness. That night, she sat by her window, staring out at the skyline. What are you, Min Jae? She whispered. As if in answer, her phone lit up again. A single text. Look outside. Her pulse jumped. She hesitated, then pushed the curtain aside. Across the street, under a street lamp, Min Jae stood. Black coat, hands in his pockets, staring up at her window. Her phone buzzed again. I said I'd protect you. I meant it. Her chest tightened. You're insane, she muttered, but she didn't look away. He bowed slightly, a gesture almost respectful, then turned and disappeared into the night. The next few days felt like walking a tightrope. Amara tried to act normal, but she could feel him everywhere, in the reflection of passing cars, in the quiet hum of her phone, in the way people's eyes darted away when she looked too long. Every time she thought she was free, a reminder would appear. A message, a flower left at her door, a shadow that vanished when she turned her head. Tasha had gone to stay with her boyfriend, leaving Amara alone in the apartment. The quiet pressed in like a weight. She turned on music, loud, chaotic, Afrobeat clashing with K-pop, danced around the room trying to shake the unease, but her thoughts kept looping back to Min Jae's words. Don't believe me either. Just watch. She slumped onto the couch and scrolled through her messages. That's when the video notification appeared. No sender name. Just a gray bubble with a play button. Her thumb hovered before she tapped it. The video opened to a dimly lit room. Men were tied to chairs, faces swollen and terrified. A figure stepped into view. Her heart stopped. It was Min Jae. Calm, composed, eyes dark and sharp as glass. He said nothing, just raised his hand. A gun clicked. The camera swung aside as 2 gunshots rang out, loud, final. The screen went black. Amara dropped her phone. Oh my God, her voice trembled. She stared at the screen, her stomach twisting. Then a message appeared under the video. Now you've seen what I do. Still not afraid? Her fingers shook as she typed. Why are you showing me this? The reply came instantly. Because you deserve the truth. No, she whispered, standing abruptly. This is insane. She turned off her phone, pacing. He was dangerous. That much was obvious. But why was she still standing here, thinking about him, instead of calling the police? Her phone buzzed again, even though she'd turned it off. The vibration came from under the couch. She froze, crouched down, and pulled out a second phone. Not hers. A sleek black one. A message appeared on its screen. Look outside. Her pulse spiked. Slowly, she crossed the room, parting the curtain. Outside, parked under the streetlight, was a silver van. 2 men sat in the front seats, faces shadowed. They weren't Min Jae's men. She could feel it. These were different, something colder in their stillness. The black phone buzzed again. Don't open the door. What? She jumped as the knocking started, hard, urgent, impatient. Miss Amara, a man's voice called from outside. We're from the embassy. We need to speak with you regarding your connection to Min Jae. Her blood ran cold. How did they know his name? She didn't answer. Ma'am, it's important you open the door now. She stepped back, trembling. Then, another buzz from the black phone. They're not who they say they are. Her breath quickened. She stared at the door. The knocking grew louder. Then silence. For a moment, she thought they'd gone. But when she peeked through the peephole, one of the men was still there, staring directly into it, like he knew she was watching. He smiled. A soft click followed, the sound of metal sliding into the lock. Amara gasped and ran to her bedroom, slamming the door shut. She grabbed her phone, dialed Tasha, no answer. Then she tried 911. Static. Nothing. Her hands trembled. Footsteps in the hall. Low voices. And then glass breaking. Her heart raced. She grabbed a lamp, clutching it like a weapon. The bedroom door burst open. But instead of the men, it was Min Jae. Black coat, hair damp from rain, eyes burning with controlled fury. Get behind me, he said. She stumbled back, too stunned to move. You, how did you? He didn't answer. He drew a gun from under his coat, smooth and silent, and aimed toward the hallway. 2 muffled shots. 2 bodies hit the floor. The silence that followed was suffocating. Amara pressed against the wall, shaking. You killed them. He turned slowly, lowering the gun. They weren't police. They worked for the Tiger Clan. They tracked your messages. Her chest rose and fell fast. You brought this here. To my home. He looked at her for a long moment. I tried to keep you safe. She let out a broken laugh. Safe? You call this safe? Do you want me to leave? He asked quietly. Yes, she shouted. But then her voice cracked. No, I don't know. His expression softened, almost sad. You remind me of someone. She died because of me. The room fell silent. The way he said it, low, flat, filled with something raw, made her anger falter. Who was she? He hesitated. Someone I loved once. Someone who believed there was good in me. She was wrong. Amara's voice softened. Maybe she wasn't. His eyes met hers, for once vulnerable. Then he turned away. Pack your things. We can't stay here. What? No, I'm not going anywhere with you. He didn't argue. He simply walked to the window, checked the street below, and said, "They'll send more. You're already marked." She stared at him, torn between terror and the inexplicable pull she felt. "If I go with you, what happens to me?" "You live." The certainty in his tone sent chills through her. Within minutes, she found herself throwing a few clothes into a bag. He moved like a shadow, efficient and quiet. When they stepped into the hallway, she saw the two bodies, men in black suits. He had dragged them aside, faces turned away. She looked away quickly. They slipped out through the back stairs and into the night. The rain had started again, cold and relentless. A black car waited at the alley's end. "Get in," he said. She hesitated. "I should be running from you, not with you." "Then run," he replied softly. "But they'll find you before morning." Her chest tightened. She looked at him, soaked, wounded, dangerous, and yet somehow she believed him. She climbed into the car. He followed, shutting the door behind them. The engine started. The city lights blurred by as they drove into the night. For a long time neither spoke. Then she whispered, "Where are we going?" "To the one place they can't reach you." "Where's that?" He glanced at her, and for the first time, a faint smile crossed his lips. "Home." "Would you follow a stranger if he promised to save your life? If you've been gripped so far, don't forget to hit the like button. It keeps the story alive and tells us you're watching. Let's see how far Amara's trust will take her." The drive seemed endless. The hum of the engine and the whisper of rain filled the silence between them. Amara kept her eyes on the window, watching the city disappear behind them, replaced by dark forests and winding roads. Finally, the car stopped before a secluded mansion perched on a hill, surrounded by mist and pine. She hesitated before stepping out. "Where are we?" she asked softly. "One of my safe houses," Min Jae replied, stepping out beside her. His voice carried no pride, just exhaustion. "No one knows it exists." She followed him inside. The air smelled faintly of cedar and smoke. The walls were lined with minimalist art, everything too clean, too perfect, like a place built to hide ghosts. He gestured to the sofa. "You should rest." "I can't rest until you tell me what's happening," she said, crossing her arms. "Why me? Why all this?" He paused, leaning against the wall. "The message you sent, the one that started everything, went through a secure channel I use for internal communications. The people who saw it assumed you were part of my operation. The Tiger Clan traced it, thinking you were my contact. If I hadn't shown up when I did, they would have killed you." Her stomach twisted. "So this is my fault." "No," he said firmly. "It's mine. I built that system. I failed to protect it." She sank onto the couch, burying her face in her hands. "I didn't ask for this, Min Jae." "I know," he said quietly. He moved to the fireplace and lit it. The soft glow revealed a scar running along his neck. Deep, old, and cruel. She hadn't noticed it before. "How many people have you hurt?" she asked. He met her gaze without flinching. "Enough to fill your nightmares." "Then why save me?" For a moment, the hard edges of his expression softened. "Because when you texted me that night, I saw something I hadn't felt in years. Innocence. You weren't asking for anything. You weren't afraid. I wanted to know what that felt like again." Her throat tightened. "You don't know me." "I know you stayed even when you should have run," he said. "You looked me in the eye when everyone else looked away. That's more than most." She wanted to say something, anything, but a sudden explosion shook the air. The lights flickered. Min Jae's head snapped up. "They found us," he said, pulling his gun. Stay behind me. Her pulse spiked. What? How? The windows shattered. Men in black burst through, shouting in Korean. Gunfire erupted. Min Jae returned fire with brutal precision, moving like a storm, cold, efficient. Amara ducked behind the couch, hands over her ears, the world collapsing into chaos. A grenade rolled across the floor, spinning to a stop near her. Min Jae, she screamed. He dove, grabbed it, and threw it back through the window. The explosion outside lit up the night. He turned to her, blood streaking his arm. We need to go. Now. They ran through the hallway as bullets tore through the walls. He kicked open a door that led to a hidden staircase. They descended into darkness. Where does this go? She shouted over the sound of boots above. Underground tunnel. Leads to the forest, he said, breathing hard. Keep moving. When they emerged outside, rain poured harder than ever. The forest seemed endless, black and alive. He took her hand without thinking. She didn't pull away. They ran until their lungs burned. Finally, when they reached a clearing, Min Jae stopped, leaning against a tree. Blood dripped from his sleeve. You're hurt, she said, moving toward him. It's nothing. Don't lie to me, she snapped, grabbing his arm. You're bleeding. He looked at her, really looked, and smiled faintly. You sound like her. The woman you lost. He nodded once. She used to tell me the same thing. Something in his voice broke her. For a second, all the fear melted away. She tore a piece of her shirt and wrapped his arm with trembling hands. He didn't stop her. Why do you keep risking your life like this? She asked softly. Because they'll never stop, he said. Not until they erase everyone who knows my name. Then run away, she said desperately. Start over somewhere. Leave this behind. He shook his head. You can't run from what you are. She held his gaze. You can if you try. A sudden light flashed from the trees. Gunfire. Min Jae shoved her down, firing back. 2 shots, 3. Silence. Then footsteps. Someone approached slowly. From the shadows emerged a man in a dark suit. Cold eyes. A scar across his mouth. Min Jae, the man said, smirking. Still playing the hero. Hyun, Min Jae growled. You should have stayed buried. Hyun aimed his gun. Orders are orders. The girl dies first. Amara's breath caught. No. Min Jae stepped in front of her, shielding her. You'll have to go through me. Gladly. The 2 men fired almost simultaneously. Hyun stumbled back, clutching his chest. Min Jae dropped to one knee, blood blooming across his side. Min Jae! Amara screamed, rushing to him. He tried to speak, coughed, blood at his lips. It's okay. I promised I'd protect you. No, no, stay with me, she cried, pressing her hands against the wound. You can't die like this. He smiled faintly. You're safe now. That's enough. Tears blurred her vision. Don't say that. You're not allowed to leave me. He reached up, brushing her cheek with trembling fingers. You make me wish I'd been a better man. His hand fell. His eyes stayed open, staring at the rain. For a long time, Amara just knelt there, sobbing into the night. Then, the sound of sirens in the distance. Blue lights flashing through the trees. She looked at Min Jae one last time. I'll tell them you saved me, she whispered. I'll make them know the truth. Some people walk into your life like storms, violent, unpredictable, unforgettable. And when they leave, you realize they were never meant to destroy you, but to change you. Then, soft music fades in, a blend of African drums and Korean strings. If you felt something through this story, if Amara's courage or Min Jae's tragedy moved you, hit the like button and subscribe. Tell us in the comments, was Min Jae a villain or a broken hero?